This is a Dark Illumination Report Extra with RJ Womack.
Hey everybody, RJ Womack, aka Brother Nero here, and this is the Dark Illumination Report podcast, the podcast where we try to help people on their path to a more devotional method of worshiping Satan. Today I'm going to talk about the fact that I'm going to be dropping the term Satanism from my personal practice, and I'm going to go into a process of creating my own tradition of Satanism, but we're not going to be using the term Satanism anymore. We're also not going to be using the term left hand or right hand path, because the reality is this idea of left hand or right hand path is kind of the result of Christian influence. When we talk about pre-Christian religions, when we talk about religions that truly have dropped their Christian background or their Christian identity, they don't think in terms of right hand or left hand path. In fact, they don't really even acknowledge such a thing. There is no such thing as good or evil. In most pagan religions, the gods are indifferent towards the morality of man, concepts of good or evil. So this new tradition will be focused on not creating absolutes. We believe that every man, every woman is responsible for creating their own moral code based on their relationship with Satan. It is not the responsibility of the religion to tell you what is good, what is bad. And spirituality and mysticism and magic aren't inherently good or evil. It's all based on the intent of the individual. So we're not going to be using those terms either. Now, the reason for getting rid of the idea of or the term Satanism is because the term Satanism attracts immature people who are not serious about their devotion to Satan, who are not serious about their spirituality, who are not serious about their magical practice. So with that in mind, we're going to eliminate Satanism so that it won't be as attractive to the immature individuals who seek only to shock people or to get attention from others. You know, true satanic practitioners and true occultists don't put their offerings on Facebook. They don't put their offerings on Twitter. They don't put up videos on Instagram of their offerings. They don't put up pictures of their blood offerings on their sigils. They don't do stuff like that. Mature adult Satanists don't behave that way. That kind of behavior is something you expect from people who are immature, people who are trying to prove how satanic they are. And that's not what I'm about, and it's not the kind of person that I want to be around. So what I'm looking for is individuals that want to dedicate themselves to Satan out of a love for Satan and out of a love for the demons, and who want to get away from all of the nonsense and drama that Satanism tends to attract. Another reason why I'm getting away from using the term Satanism is because I find that most of the people who are interested in Satanism, a lot of them tend to be old men who are looking to chase after young girls that are interested in Satanism because they think they're easy. And like I said, I'm not trying to make it out like I'm some kind of saint or some kind of Christianized person. I mean, I'm a Satanist. I believe in satanic morals, and I don't think there's anything wrong with sex or indulgence, but it tends to attract people who are more interested in trying to get something out of the religion than devoting themselves to Satan. That's not what I'm about. So with that in mind, we're going to be creating a form of Satanism, but we're not going to call it Satanism, that is more balanced, that is more a shadow path, what I'd like to refer to as a crooked shadow path, meaning that it is neither right-hand path or left-hand path. We don't define things in moral terms. It's more of a path of nature, and nature is both good and evil, destructive and creative. And as they say in voodoo, for example, or hoodoo, the true practitioner, the true voodoo man or voodoo woman works with both hands. The true hoodoo conjure man or conjure woman works with both hands. There's no such thing as good or evil. The path is the path of shadow. The path is the gray path, if you will. And that's kind of the way I look at it. The other thing is that if the tradition is not defined by the term Satanism, we no longer have to define ourselves by the conventions of Satanism. Like, for example, we don't have to worry about what LaVey said because we're not following the satanic religion. We're creating our own religious tradition. If somebody says, well, LaVey said we don't do this, we don't care what LaVey said because we don't follow LaVey. If somebody says, well, Michael Aquino says this, it doesn't matter what Michael Aquino says because we're not Satanist. We are not of a satanic tradition. It doesn't matter whether this person calls what we do right-hand path or left-hand path because we're not of their tradition. They are not part of our religion. And so that's the whole idea behind what I'm doing. And I hope that some people will appreciate that and want to get more involved in a more devotional practice that is more focused on actually worshiping and devoting oneself to the actual demons and to Satan. So I'll be giving you more details as time goes on. If you're interested in this new path that I'm trying to create and you're interested in talking to me about it, then I'll be happy to talk to you. But please understand that I'm working on this as hard as I can, and the ministry is going to be the vehicle by which I promote this tradition. To be perfectly honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired of the fakeness. I'm tired of the pretending. I'm tired of the people showing off just for attention, people pretending to be dark and people pretending to be hard and people, wearing black lipstick and corpse paint and all the nonsense that has nothing to do with Satanism. And I'm looking to create a tradition that actually has to do with worshiping Satan and dedicating your life to Satan.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Illumination Report podcast. For the latest news headlines, show information, and more, go to rjwomack.com. That's rjwomack.com.